when we talk about meaning, what is the meaning of a sentence or a word or a text? Of course, everybody's going to see that meaning differently, and the meaning is taking place in different individuals' minds, right? The meaning is not in the words. And we can distinguish that kind of a meaning from the meaning of words. And this is an artificial way of doing it. But let's say I say the words, I love you. And
is it true?
Totally, totally. So I love you, Elizabeth, and it is true. I've given you this example before when we've talked, but I love you, the meaning of those words is pretty hard to mistake, right? Nobody's going to mistake when you're saying I love you, what I means, what love means, and you.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to be confused. So people might say, oh, what are you talking about? Language isn't very precise and it doesn't refer to a single thing. Well, of course, when you get into the analysis of it, it doesn't actually refer to a single thing, and it doesn't communicate a single meaning.
Right.
So if the meaning is in the words, when I say I love you, and it refers to a single thing, it should always refer to that very same thing.
Right.
Right? So if somebody says I love you and they don't, they're just saying those words, and what they're really trying to communicate, let's say somebody's asking for a favor and you won't do me a favor, and I say, I love you, I love you, do this for me. And they're kind of joking, right? But they're saying I love you to try and get you to do something. Right? So the meaning of the words I love and you are actually saying I love you, but it's not communicating I love you. The whole context and everything is communicating something else.
Right. It's contextual, would you say?
It's contextual, and there's so much that goes into that. And then there's, who is this I who's saying this?
Yeah.
What is that person, and what are your ideas about that person? So even when you get down to trying to understand, how do you translate? If the text says, I love you, what is the context? What is trying to be communicated here? And that question is always at the forefront of any translator's mind. But then you can't just say, get rid of the words.
Right.
That's not a translation. If you just throw away the words and say, oh, he's really just teasing her and saying, I love you, do this for me.
Yeah, there's some reference there that we need to agree on consensually a little bit.
You have to find a way to communicate that through the context, but somehow also be translating the words. And you can't just toss the words. The words are there, they're a map, they're an anchor.
Yeah.
And so all the struggle is around how do you kind of keep some of the words, but make sure the meaning comes across, because people can't see context in a text.